They arrested her for faking SEAL service, until the judge whispered, "That silver star is real?" A woman who claimed to be a U.S. Navy SEAL was arrested in her home state of Virginia in late 2020, and they did so under suspicion of stolen valor. What did this mean? Well, it meant that her military decorations were most likely fraudulent. This included her Silver Star, one of the highest military honors awarded by the U.S. armed conflicts. But the truth would soon come out. And what the judge said next was pure gold. When the news of her arrest first broke, people online were stunned. The woman in question was a well-known local meteorologist. How could someone in her position fake being a Navy SEAL? But even if she wasn't a Navy SEAL, why arrest her? Well, according to the authorities, she had been lying about her military service for many years. And not only that, but she had also used her fabricated stories to get ahead professionally, at some point, they said. She pretended to be a Navy SEAL in order to secure a job. To make matters worse, the claims she made about her service were incredibly specific. She didn't just say that she served in the Navy, but that she was a member of an elite unit, the Navy SEALs. Furthermore, she said that she had been part of the unit. Between 1998 and 2001, this alone should have set off alarm bells for the authorities. After all, being part of such an elite unit isn't something people can just claim without credible evidence. But despite this, they took no action against her until recently. After all, she had lived with the secret for decades. Why suddenly confess? Well, it seems she was finally caught. It all started when the Navy Times published a story about a group of former Navy SEALs who were suing a Washington, D.C. gym over allegations of stolen valor. One of the former SEALs who sued the gym was a certain Keith Wilson. But there was another person involved, Jennifer Hallis. She was the owner of the gym, and she had allegedly made some pretty bold claims herself. She had said that she, too, had been a Navy SEAL. And not only that, but she had also implied that she had received the Silver Star Medal for her service. Wilson and the other former SEALs felt that she had no right to use their unit's history or claim its honors for her own gain. They wanted her to stop advertising herself as a Navy SEAL and remove any references to her alleged service from her website. However, after the article was published, the gym owner decided to fight back. She filed a countersuit against the ex-SEALs, and in it, she doubled down on her claims. According to her, she really had been a Navy SEAL, and she really had received the Silver Star. Now this really escalated things, and the former SEALs knew they needed help, so they turned to the authorities. Soon enough, the police arrived at the gym and arrested the owner. They charged her with 2 counts of stolen valor and 2 counts of falsely wearing military medals. These charges were in addition to the ongoing civil litigation that she was facing. So it seemed like things couldn't get much worse for her. They definitely could. In fact, things got so bad that she was forced to shut down her business. And all the while, she was insisting that she hadn't done anything wrong. The truth was that she had never said she was a SEAL in order to advance her career. Sure, she wore the medals on her uniform and called herself a Navy SEAL, but she did this to honor her service, not to scam anyone. But now she was going to court to prove it. The day of her hearing arrived, and she appeared in court looking confident. She believed that once they saw her medals, they would understand that she really was a Navy SEAL. But unfortunately, the judge wasn't convinced. He told her that he would review her records and get back to her the next day. The following day, the judge had his answer. But instead of telling her directly, he called everyone into the courtroom. In the silence of the room, he said, "I looked through her records last night, and I can tell you right now that that Silver Star is real." Everyone gasped. No one expected that her medal would turn out to be real. The judge was obviously shocked, and he must have thought that this would clear everything up. So he continued, "And I believe that she has more than earned the right to wear it." What? Was the judge saying that her medals were all real? If so, then this was incredible news. However, he still hadn't said anything directly to her yet, so she remained confused and concerned. Finally, the judge addressed her directly and said, "You are hereby discharged from custody. You are free to go." As he said this, he removed the handcuffs that were holding her and signaled for the bailiffs to leave. At this point, everyone in the courtroom erupted in cheers and applause. It was hard to believe that she really had been a Navy SEAL, but the judge's words left no room for doubt. She had been arrested for stealing valor, but she had proven her valor. What a moment. After the judge left, she thanked the former SEALs for sticking by her side throughout the ordeal. But they told her not to worry, because now they had to apologize to her. Of course, she was very grateful for their support, but she didn't want them to apologize. She understood that they had only done what they thought was right. Still, the incident made headlines across the country. People talked about it everywhere. However, despite the national attention, the judge still hadn't explained how she had managed to fool so many people. What did he know that the rest of the world didn't? He had access to her top-secret files, which revealed some shocking details about her service. According to these documents, she had served with distinction in highly classified missions around the world. In fact, she had done so well during her tours that no one suspected she was a woman. At least that was until she left the service. Somehow she had managed to keep her gender a secret for all those years. But why would she do such a thing? Well, that was something only she could answer. However, the judge speculated that perhaps she had joined the SEALs so that she could serve her country without anyone knowing about it. And since her medals were real, she must have really believed that she deserved them. As for her accusers, they were dumbfounded. They couldn't believe that she really had been a Navy SEAL, let alone one of the best ones they had ever seen. Now, they faced intense scrutiny for having accused an actual hero of stealing valor. Some people said that they deserved it because they had targeted a woman in a male-dominated field. But others defended them, saying that they had only acted to protect the integrity of their unit. Regardless, the whole situation was humiliating for them. But none of them felt more humiliated than the owner of the gym. She had tried to argue that her medals were real, but no one had taken her seriously. Even now, no one believed her story. The judge then approached her and apologized for not believing her sooner. He said that he had been skeptical of her story, but that he should have given her the benefit of the doubt. He also apologized for having handcuffed her in front of everyone. But she told him not to worry about it because she understood that he had only been doing his job. As the media left the courtroom, she spoke to them for the first time since her arrest. She told them that she had been a Navy SEAL for 8 years and that she had been deployed all over the world. She also said that she had been awarded the Silver Star for her actions in Afghanistan. She wouldn't say anything else about her service. That was classified information after all. She also told the media that she had never said she was a SEAL to get ahead professionally, and that she had never scammed anyone. She had simply shared her story with pride. And what a story it was. From that day forward, no one doubted her story again. And she was finally able to move on with her life. She became known as the woman who fooled the entire U.S. military and the media. But to those who knew her, she was simply Jennifer, the Navy SEAL. This truly was a remarkable story. It showed that you should never judge someone by their appearance. Who knows? Maybe she could have fooled everyone in the military, but the truth came out. Regardless, we should all take a lesson from this and remember to be humble and respectful to everyone we meet. After all, you never know what they might be hiding. Well, folks, that's all for now. But if you enjoyed this story, be sure to check out our other videos. We've got plenty of amazing content coming your way, so don't miss out. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.